What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I wanted to do a different kind of Life is Strange video, a video kind of dedicated to Hannah Telle, and I guess not necessarily talking directly to her, obviously just putting it out there on the internet, because, this might be the last video that I make before Double Exposure fully releases. The grander public, is that even a word? The bigger audience out there gets to play this game, gets to play episodes 1 and 2, and then the rest of us that played in early access get to finish this off. And I think there's one thing that kind of connects all of us. I sincerely mean this, and this is what I want to talk about in this video, is I think our love and appreciation of Hannah Telle and of Max Caulfield. About a week or two ago, I did a video where I tried to, I don't think I did honestly a very good job on it, but I wanted to talk about just Max Caulfield as a character, why I think she's one of the all-time greats. I really believe that, like in my soul. I've thought that really ever since the first game came out, where, you always have those lists of like the top female characters and stuff, and it's like, well, if you want to put her up against female characters, I think she's one of the best, but if you want to put her up against gaming characters in general, you don't have to divide it by genders. I still think she comes out pretty high. I really think Max Caulfield is a special character, and even in episodes 1 and 2 so far of Double Exposure, I think she's been fantastic. In fact, I think she's been the best part of the game by miles, and I think a lot of that is held up by her. Even just kind of this fallout of the last couple of weeks of the early access, you're seeing even people that are quite aggressive, right? Now, I'm not going to tell you how to take your stance on this game. If you want to like this game, you have every right to. Don't let other people take that away from you. If you want to hate it, same thing. You know what I mean? If you don't like what they're doing, you have every right to talk about that. Now, there's lines, right? There's harassing and threatening and things like that. And there is stuff like that happening. And that is actually pretty sad to see. I've seen stuff on Twitter of like direct violence towards Deck 9 employees, and that's just, you don't need to do that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I say it as like a light thing, but honestly, I mean, if you're on the receiving end of that, that can be pretty, grim, pretty dark. There's plenty of ways to voice your complaints, and you should be able to. Again, I'm not here telling you have to shut up and just accept what they're giving you. Absolutely not. But like, you don't have to take it. In fact, you can't take it that far. That just doesn't look good, and it's just I think a morally wrong thing to do. But the point is, there is a point to all of this. On Twitter, I have seen all sides. I've seen people that like it. Honestly, I would say the majority don't like it. I actually think I'm one of the more positive people that I've seen. I mean, again, it doesn't matter if you are or doesn't. That's up to you. But, there's several people that are very anti what's going on with Double Exposure. The thing that everybody, I think, agrees on is that it has nothing to do with Hannah Telle and Max Caulfield. Now, she's the carryover, right? And I think maybe that helps her because, there's really no other carryover, like, Chloe or Ashley version stuff from the first games. So there is that. But, you just see, I know I've covered Player One versus the World, which is a great guy and a great creator over on Twitter. And, he's put together some stuff where when she did interviews just a couple weeks ago at the convention, she's just so full of excitement. She's got this wholesome vibe to her. I've long said, I said it in the Max Caulfield video, I think Hannah Telle basically is Max Caulfield. I guess depending on how you play Max, it maybe goes outside of her wheelhouse, but I think just in general, it seems relatively close to the same personality. And Hannah just seems like one of the most down-to-earth people in the gaming industry. I mean, there's people like pulling up her past interviews that she's talked about things, even to the point of like not wanting to play before the storm because of how they treated Max, and she didn't want to get hurt by it. I mean, she takes things personally because she connects with Max and loves Max so much. But if I were to talk directly to Hannah Telle in this video, let me tell you, Hannah, that I honestly believe, and I think it's special, I really do actually believe this is one of the most special things about the Life is Strange community, is no matter where people are standing on the Double Exposure stuff, I think people have her back, or your back, depending on who's listening, right? I think we really have Hannah's back, and again, it's not like she came back and is doing the worst job of her life, right? Like, she seemingly is having a ton of fun, and she's doing a good job. Like, some of the writing here and there is questionable, and where it goes, again, like, even for the early access folks, we don't know where episodes 3, I guess unless you do the audio leaks, but I haven't done that. We don't know where the future is going to take us as, I guess, players, but also her as a character. But I don't know, like even based off everything that they've done, and they made some decisions with Max already that I'm not, and I've said this before, like I think when Max is on screen in episodes 1 and 2 of Double Exposure or chapters, I think she's really good, and I still believe they understand her character. Now, the thing is, and what I've called out, is that I don't really think they get her like when she's not on screen. The lore in between 1 and Double Exposure, I'm not even a fan of how they handled some of that with Max. I mean, you could argue with other characters too. So I think, I give a little bit more credit to the developers than I think other people do. But I think the thing that kind of brings this all together is no matter what, she is still doing an awesome job. And I guess that's the point, right? It's like, you can, I guess, debate all you want about the quality of the writing for Max, but I think in terms of just her actual character and just like, I mean, I've said this before, like just seeing her again, seeing her, hearing her, like returning to an old friend, it feels awesome. And you do not get that without her. In fact, she is, I think, 90% of that, right? It's just that, again, I kind of think that spirit that she has, her way of talking that, we've talked about on this channel before, just her personality, I think lends itself to Max so perfectly. Really, it's perfect. I mean, that's actually what it is. So hopefully, and in terms of like why I even wanted to do this video, well, I think I kind of already said at least part of it, right? Like there is a lot of divisiveness, and she is somebody that I think comes off more like she could be impacted by the things she sees online. I don't know if she's on some I mean, like, to be on Twitter is already to kind of sell your soul, so I don't know how many celebrities actually do it. I know she's on Instagram and seemingly like looks around on Instagram. I feel like that's more positive, versus Twitter, but hopefully she sees it, and I guess that's the point. Hopefully she sees the positivity specifically to her, because no matter where you stand, and again, like I've said that I like episodes 1 and 2. I don't know if it was worth that $30 to play the 2 weeks early, but that's a separate issue. I think so far so good. There's obviously things to discuss and to criticize and stuff, but hopefully she sees more of those positives, and specifically the things on her. That I really feel like no matter what you think about the decisions of Deck 9, the decisions of the game and what they're doing, I think we can all kind of agree, like, it's good to see her again. We all know she seemingly had an amazing time coming. I mean, we've heard that. I don't even know if it's seemingly, right? She's talked about how excited she was to come back into this role, and like she didn't think it would happen, but she was like blown away by it. And I think she's done a phenomenal job. And I think no matter what happens with the character of Max Caulfield, which we can definitely talk about after we play like the second half of this game, basically, no matter what happens there, I think her specifically in the acting and just kind of bringing that character to life again and really doing it about as good as you can possibly ask for, I think that deserves a lot of praise, and hopefully so she sees that versus the other stuff. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Make sure as always to subscribe to the channel, bell icon turned on. I hope to see you all on the next one.